How many nights have you laid down, closed your eyes, hoping for peaceful sleep, only to find that, instead of gentle darkness, a flood of thoughts comes rushing in. The ticking clock echoes in your ears, each second like a hammer striking your mind. You turn again and again, yet sleep drifts further away. If this feels familiar, you are not alone. Millions around the world live with this silent suffering called insomnia. And insomnia doesn't just steal your nights. It drains your energy, your focus, your joy, even your sense of safety in your own body. Most people think sleep is something to win, but true rest begins the moment you stop trying. Insomnia isn't proof that your body is broken. It's a signal that your mind is asking you to listen, not to fight. There is a way back to this natural rhythm. Psychologists call the way out cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI. But centuries ago, Zen masters taught the same wisdom in simpler words. When you stop seeking sleep, sleep will find you. Tonight, we will walk this path together, weaving ancient Zen parables with modern science, through gentle stories, metaphors, and simple exercises. Step by step, you will loosen the grip of anxiety, allowing your body to release, your mind to open, and sleep to return like a natural river flowing home. Before we begin, take a moment and share in the comments where you are listening from tonight, because your presence truly matters here. So let this be the beginning of your healing journey into restful sleep. The bamboo that watched itself grow. Now imagine a grove of young bamboo, swaying gently in the evening wind. Each stalk grows at its own pace, bending, stretching, yet never resisting the breeze. Can you see it? The wind moves, but the bamboo does not fight. It simply grows. In a forgotten valley, cradled between mountains touching the clouds, stood an ancient monastery. Beside it, a vast bamboo grove shimmered with green and golden light, like a cathedral built of living wood. Here lived Kaido, a young monk with a mind that was a cage of frantic birds. During meditation, thoughts darted. At night, they sang anxious songs. He wrestled with them, tried to force them into silence, but the harder he fought, the louder they sang. Exhaustion was not from chores, but from the invisible labor of controlling his own mind. One evening, Kaido sought Jin, the oldest master, known for silence as deep as the valley itself. He found him not in the hall, but sitting at the grove's edge, moonlight casting shadows through the stalks. "Master," Kaido said, voice tight, "I cannot quiet my mind. How do you find peace in a world so full of noise?" Jin did not look at him. He gestured toward the bamboo, Tell me, Kaido, what is the bamboo doing? Kaido blinked. It grows, master, and it sways in the wind. Does it try to stop the wind? Jin asked. No, it yields, it bends. Does it command itself to grow faster? Or fret? It is not as tall as its neighbor. Kaido watched. Some stalks were young, slender, others old, thick. Each moved together, yet independently. No, master, it simply grows. Jin finally turned, eyes soft as moonlight. Your mind is like this bamboo. You try to stop the wind, force growth, judge every bend, and so you break. But what should I do? Kaido pleaded. Do not control, Jin said softly. Just watch. Watch your mind like this bamboo. Notice a worry, notice a memory, notice a sudden idea. No judgment, no straightening. Simply watch it grow. For the first time, Kaido allowed himself not to struggle. Thoughts arose, a mistake, a task, an old sadness. He watched them, each like a bamboo stalk bending or reaching. He became the watcher of his own inner grove. And then a miracle subtle, yet profound. The cage of frantic birds vanished. The birds were still there, but no longer trapped. They flew in an infinite sky. Between the thoughts, Kaido glimpsed the quiet. A gap, a moment of stillness, like seeing the night sky through swaying bamboo. The stillness had been there all along. This practice of just watching is the foundation of what CBTI calls cognitive diffusion. It's the art of seeing your thoughts as just thoughts, not as commands, not as truths, but as passing mental events, like the wind in the bamboo. You are not your thoughts. This simple realization strips away their power over you. This story is not only about Kaido or the bamboo. It is about you here now. The mind's restlessness, you feel the pressure to control, optimize, fix everything. It creates its own tension. The harder you chase peace, the more it flutters away. The teaching of the bamboo whispers, you don't have to fix it. You don't have to solve it. Just watch. Observe thoughts without fighting. Notice the DMN, the brain's storyteller. Never shut it down. Just watch. You move from the front row to the back, simply witnessing. Each observation strengthens mindfulness, rewires the brain, softens anxiety, and signals safety. Some thoughts are heavy, like stones. Others light, like swaying bamboo. Observe all without judgment. Observing our thoughts like bamboo is the first step, But what happens when some thoughts aren't like gentle breezes, but feel like heavy, unmovable stones of grief or worry? How do we find peace then? The story of the stone that remembered silence will guide us into a deeper stillness, showing us that even our greatest burdens can become our anchors to peace. Now, together, notice your breath. No need to change it. Feel air entering, chest or belly rising. Feel air leaving, chest or belly falling. This is your anchor. Thoughts arise. Watch them. A thought. Gently return to the breath. A sound distracts you. Observe, return. Frustration rises. Observe, return. Each return strengthens your inner calm. Imagine your mind as the vast sky. Thoughts are clouds dark, stormy, light, wispy. All arise and pass. You are the sky. You are not the clouds. Observe them with gentle awareness. The world slows. You are safe. You are whole. Everything is okay. Even as thoughts sway, they form a rhythm you witness without tension. You are the silent watcher, the deep quiet of the valley, the gentle moonlight illuminating all without judgment. Breathe. Let go. The work of the day is done. Your mind can rest. You are simply here, breathing. That is enough. And as the bamboo whispers to the night, we move gently toward the waters, reflecting the moonlight. Moonlight on restless waters. Many nights you lie awake, tossing, listening to the restless whispers of your mind. Can you see the ripples there, like waves under a cold moon? Lie here in the stillness of your room and sense the subtle currents of thought and feeling that move within you. Even when your body is still, your mind can feel like a vast, restless ocean, its surface trembling with the memory of the day's winds, the worries that sneak into your chest, the regrets that poke like tiny, persistent seagulls. One moment it is calm, reflecting the clear, silent light of presence. The next, a sudden memory or worry sends a cascade of ripples, distorting the reflection and making it impossible to see what lies beneath. Visualize silver light spilling over a restless pond, trembling yet steady, revealing shadowed depths. This moonlight is your awareness. It does not try to calm the waters. It does not scold or command. It simply illuminates what is already there, holding it in a gentle, cool embrace. Let this image be your guide as we drift into a story that explores the ceaseless flow of the mind and the peace that comes not from stopping the waves, but from learning to watch them. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Let your body grow heavy, soft, and let the story begin. On the coast of a crescent-shaped island, a small fishing village wakes and sleeps by the rhythms of the sea. The villagers understand its moods, its generosity, and its sudden tempers. Here lived Ami, a young net mender. Her fingers wove broken threads with nimble precision, but her own mind remained a tangle of restless waters. Every night, thoughts rose and fell like tides. Anxiety about tomorrow's catch, longing for a mother lost to time, irritation at careless neighbors, and a wistful yearning for a life she didn't have. She tried to shush the waves, telling herself happy thoughts, scolding anxious ones, as if quieting a flock of noisy seagulls squabbling over the last fish. But the harder she tried, the more restless she became. Her nights were battles against her own inner ocean, leaving her waking hours heavy and exhausted. One evening, a wandering nun arrived, Shizuka, meaning quiet, carrying only a wooden staff and a small bowl. She sat on the pier as the sun dipped below the horizon, her face serene. Seeing the calm in her eyes, Ami felt a flicker of hope. She approached, bowing. "Reverend," she whispered, voice trembling, "my mind is a stormy sea. Can you teach me how to calm the waves?" Shizuka looked at Ami, then at the rising moon, casting silver light across the lapping waves. "Look at the moon on the water," she said softly. "The surface is broken, restless, alive." Ami nodded. "Yes, it is like my mind." "Does the moon resist the movement?" Shizuka asked. "Does it scold the waves for disturbing its reflection? Does it command them to stop?" Ami watched the shimmering light. The moon in the sky was perfect. The moon on the water danced. Both were true. Both were beautiful. "No," Ami whispered. "The moon simply lays its light upon the water, whatever its condition." "Exactly," Shizuka smiled. "Your awareness is the moonlight. Your thoughts are the restless waters. Flattening the ocean is impossible and exhausting. To find sleep and peace, you must become the moonlight." "How?" Ami asked, heart open. "Tonight, when you lie down, do not fight the waves. Let each thought, each feeling arise. Shine the light of your awareness upon them. Say to yourself, 'Ah, This is anxiety. I see it. I feel its tension. Be the moonlight observing that wave. Let sadness wash over you, observing its depth without clinging. This is the gentle flow of impermanence. That night, Ami tried. A worry about her sister arose. She pictured cool moonlight shining on it, feeling tension in her shoulders, noticing without clinging. The wave passed. Joy, fear, hope, all came like waves. She met each with steady, gentle light. No longer a swimmer struggling, but the moon itself. The pond of her mind was not perfectly still, but it found a natural rhythm. She slept, the water still moving beneath her awareness, but she was the moonlight, untouched. Many of us believe meditation or sleep requires a blank mind. But the mind's nature is to move, to think, to feel. Resistance creates turbulence. Observing gently, without judgment, activates our parasympathetic nervous system, slowing heart rate, deepening breath, signaling to every cell, it is safe. Think of your own nightly worries. What if I fail tomorrow? Resistance spikes tension. Moonlight awareness shines on fear, observes it, and it passes. This is the essence. What you resist persists. What you observe dissolves. Bring attention to your body. Notice tension in jaw, shoulders, stomach. Shine moonlight upon it. See it. Feel it. Breathe silver light in, breathe tension out. Thoughts arise. Fragments, worries, memories. Observe like leaves floating on a river. No need to grab, no need to analyze, just watch. You are the moonlight. The waves do not harm you. Each ripple passes. Imagine floating down a quiet river, soft green banks, stars above. No need to paddle, no need to steer. The current knows. Each thought a leaf carried away. The pond does not resist, neither must your mind. You are the moonlight. Shine gently. Shine kindly. The whispers of the forest floor are different from the wind in the canopy. Soon, the story of the whispering forest will invite you to hear what is spoken only in silence. Keep your mind open, like the quiet pond under moonlight. Tonight, let your mind be the moonlight. The waves may move, the ripples may dance, but you are held always. Breathe in peace. Breathe out resistance. Let the gentle lapping of the waves carry you into deep, restful sleep. The whispering forest. you lie awake, night after night, with a mind that won't quiet down. Imagine each worry, each unspoken fear, as a whisper drifting through a dense forest. Each leaf trembles with a story. Each rustle carries a secret longing. Tonight, let us walk together into this whispering forest. And as you walk, notice the soft murmurs of your own thoughts, moving like wind through the trees. Perhaps there is a whisper of anxiety. You're not enough. Or a whisper of grief. I miss what once was. Just let them be. You don't need to solve them. Just listen. Take a deep breath. Invite your own whispers to be heard, even the tiniest ones. Imagine a forest in a remote northern land, ancient and vast. It is known to the villagers as the Whispering Forest, for its trees hold memories of all who have walked beneath them. Stand still, and you may hear the echoes of forgotten joys, sighs of old sorrows, and hums of unspoken truths. In a village at the forest's edge lived a man named Ren, a mapmaker. His hands traced borders and rivers, lines and grids, defining the world with precision. Yet inside, his mind was a wild, uncharted forest. Each night the whispers rose, subtle and relentless, leaving him drained and restless. He tried work, distractions, even laughter, but silence brought the murmurs back, louder than ever. One day, Ren heard of a hermit deep in the forest. She spoke not with words, but with the quiet art of listening. Desperate, he packed lightly and entered the woods. His maps and logic faltered. Paths twisted, leaves whispered mischief, and soon he felt completely lost. The forest seemed alive, teasing his need for control. After what felt like days, he stumbled upon a sunlit clearing. An old woman sat against a mossy fir, weaving pine needles. She did not look up. "I am lost," he said. "I seek the hermit who teaches listening." She gestured for him to sit. Hours passed. Sunlight moved, birds called, pine needles scraped softly. Ren's mind flared. Whispers shouted in a frenzy. Yet the woman's calm presence held him. Her stillness was a great tree. He was but a trembling leaf. As dusk fell, she stopped weaving. With a finger to her lips, then to her ear, then outward to the forest, she said, "Stop talking. Stop thinking. Listen." Ren closed his eyes. He let go of control. He let the whispers speak. first, he heard only wind, then the creak of a branch, insect footsteps on dry leaves, the moss sighing with moisture. Slowly, he listened inward. Fear whispered, "You are not good enough." He recognized the voice of his father. Grief whispered, "I miss her so much." Loneliness whispered, "No one truly understands me." He realized these whispers were not enemies. They were voices needing acknowledgement. Peace settled as he simply listened. By allowing the whispers to be heard, they quieted on their own. The hermit's teaching was revealed. Listening without judgment uncovers the patterns that keep you awake. That night, Ren slept deeply, and upon waking, the old woman had vanished, but her lesson remained. He now had the map that mattered, the ability to listen to the whispers of his own heart. Your mind, like Ren's, is a whispering forest. Anxiety, unrest, the inability to sleep, these are often quiet voices we ignore. In a world of constant noise and distraction, we become experts at not listening. But the whispers persist, retreating into body and subconscious, showing up as tension, restlessness, insomnia. Practicing deep listening is courage. It means turning down outer noise and inviting your inner world to be seen. Ask gently, what is here to be heard? Perhaps the whisper is burnout. I can't do this anymore. Or hidden grief. I miss what was. Or your inner critic. You're a failure. Listen without judgment. Identify the source. Create distance. Offer compassion. This is not analysis. It is presence. Each whisper is a messenger. Confusion and uncertainty may feel like fog. But even in mist, a single light guides you. The parable of the lantern in the fog waits ahead, a quiet guide through mental haze. For now, practice listening. Settle into your body. Feel its weight and warmth. Imagine yourself in the forest clearing. Golden light holds you safe. Turn your ear inward. Let thoughts arrive without control. What whispers are present tonight? Notice, don't search. Perhaps worry whispers. Just hear it, feel it. Acknowledge, I hear you. Thank you for trying to protect me. Perhaps loneliness whispers. Sit with it like a friend. Perhaps self-judgment whispers. I should have done better today. Listen, then respond with compassion. You are enough. Rest now. Each whisper is impermanent, instructive. You are the quiet clearing where all voices may arise without judgment. Let silence speak. Let the body soften. Jaw unclench, shoulders drop, breath deepen. Your mind is not a dangerous forest. It is sacred, alive with wisdom. It only asks for your gentle, listening presence. So listen, hear your breathing, hear your heartbeat, hear the profound silence holding all whispers. In listening, there is peace, release, and the gentle quiet before sleep. Petals fall lightly, guiding us into the wisdom of letting go. Petals falling without attachment. Can you feel the restless currents of your mind tonight? Every worry, every unfinished thought, every regret, like tiny dewdrops clinging to a cherry blossom. Imagine one petal drifting silently past your hand. It does not struggle. It does not cling. It simply releases. And as you watch, you realize your thoughts could do the same. We spend so much of our lives holding on. We cling to ideas of who we are, to plans for the future, to memories of the past. At night, this clinging becomes tension. The mind replays conversations, grasps anxieties, refuses to let the day end. What if letting go was not an effort, but a natural, gentle act? See cherry blossoms drifting slowly, touching the ground without effort or resistance. They do not mourn their fall. They simply release, surrendering to gravity with quiet grace. Let this image fill your heart tonight. The effortless release of petals is a mirror for your own mind. In the grounds of a temple famous for its gardens, there lived a master gardener named Haru. His hands were as wrinkled as the bark of the ancient cherry trees he tended. Haru was known far and wide for creating gardens of breathtaking beauty. People traveled days just to walk among his creations. One spring, a young nobleman arrived, brilliant, ambitious, yet tormented. His mind clung to every insult, ambition, and fear. Sleep was a stranger, peace a forgotten friend. He found Haru beneath the largest cherry tree, its blooms a glorious cloud of pink and white. A gentle breeze stirred, and petals began drifting like soft snow. "Old man," the nobleman said sharply, "I hear you are a master of peace. Teach me your secret. How do I rid my mind of tormenting thoughts? How do I let go of the past? How do I stop clinging to the future?" Haru looked at a single petal, resting on dark green moss. Calm as a river, he said. Tell me, my lord, how does the petal let go of the branch? The nobleman frowned. It doesn't let go. Its time is over. The wind blows and it falls. Haru smiled gently. Ah, or is it the most profound teaching of all? He invited the nobleman to sit. You think letting go is an act of force. You imagine pulling weeds from your mind. But look at the petal. No struggle. No fight. Only perfect, timely release. The petal does not cling. It understands impermanence. Its time to bloom has passed. Now it returns to the earth, making way for new life. Its release is an act of trust in the natural flow of life. The nobleman watched the cascade of petals, mesmerized. Your thoughts are like these petals, Haru continued. They arise, have their moment, then fade. Suffering comes from clinging long after their season. You clutch anger from mourning, fear for next year, regret from decades ago. Your mind is a tree in winter, clutching dead leaves. But how? The nobleman asked softly. How do I release without a fight? I feel powerless. You do not learn by doing, Haru said. You learn by seeing. Sit, watch the petals. Do not try to achieve anything. Simply observe their effortless fall. Let their gentle surrender teach you. All afternoon, the nobleman watched. Petals drifted straight down, others carried far by the wind. Falling was not an end, but a transformation. The ground became a carpet of pink. Thoughts arose about rivals, past failures, but he visualized each as a petal, detaching and drifting away. No force, no struggle, just gentle release. A quiet space opened inside him. Calm, empty. Letting go is a practice that eases a restless mind. By witnessing and releasing each thought, space for serenity arises. That evening, he left a changed man. No secret technique was given, only an image of grace, trust, and profound peace. That night, he slept deeply, dreaming of endless snow of cherry blossoms. The lesson: letting go is not an action, but cessation of action. Holding a stone, your muscles strain. Letting go doesn't require doing anything, only stopping clenching. Thoughts cling in the same way. We are fused to them, believing we are our thoughts. Watching petals fall teaches diffusion. Thoughts arise, and instead of merging with them, you watch them detach like petals. You are not the petal, you are the tree. Or better, the quiet garden witnessing the process. In this space, choice appears. You need not be swept away by every thought. You can rest in the stillness. When looping worries arise, health, conflict, mistakes, remember the image. Ah, another petal. Gently watch it detach and drift. The mind will produce more petals, you just observe. Each release also lets go of patterns of control. The lesson from clouds passing through the mind will show worries dissolving like morning mist, revealing clarity once hidden. You are retraining your brain, creating a habit of release. The mind learns to hold thoughts lightly, to trust in letting go. In CBTI, this is the heart of cognitive restructuring. Many of us are kept awake by what are called automatic negative thoughts, worries that loop endlessly. The story of the petals teaches us that we don't need to argue with these thoughts. We simply practice letting them go, recognizing their impermanent nature. Each time you visualize a worry as a petal falling, you are actively rewiring your brain to stop clinging to stressful thought patterns. Practice now. Bring awareness to your body. Imagine Haru's garden. A gentle breeze stirs the cherry tree branches. Soft pink petals fall silently around you. As you breathe in, notice any thought. As you breathe out, imagine it as a petal, detaching and drifting down. Breathing in, another thought arises, perhaps a worry. Breathing out, release it. Another petal drifting on the breeze. No effort, no force, just natural release. The mind produces more blossoms. The practice is in non-clinging. What if you let go of needing perfect sleep? See that pressure as a petal. Let it drift away. Release the story of being a bad sleeper. See them scatter in the wind. Freedom is not control. It is allowing thoughts to fall naturally. With each exhale, your hand opens, the stone drops, dead leaves fall. You create space. Your nervous system downshifts. Alertness softens into deep surrender. Nothing to fix, nothing to chase, just gentle falling, just quiet release. The world slows down. Let this story become your dream. Let the petals carry you into sleep as light, gentle, and effortless as their journey to earth. From falling petals, we lift our gaze to stones that remember silence. The stone that remembered silence. Have you ever lain awake at 2 a.m., mind racing like a river, wishing for silence? After the petals have fallen, after the whispers have faded, after the ripples have calmed, there is something that remains. It is a deeper quiet, a silence that is not an absence of sound, but a profound presence. Yet we often feel disconnected from this silence. Our minds feel heavy, burdened by the sheer weight of our responsibilities, our histories, our worries. We feel less like a falling petal and more like a stone, stuck at the bottom of a fast-moving river, tumbled and worn by the relentless current of thought. But what if that stone is not a symbol of being stuck, but a symbol of unshakable peace? Imagine a smooth stone resting beneath flowing water, unmoved, yet intimately connected to the current. The water rushes over it, but the stone's core remains perfectly still. It holds a memory of silence that the chaotic water can never wash away. This stone is within you. It is your innate capacity for deep, unwavering calm. Tonight, we will learn not to fight the river of thought, but to sink into the quiet, heavy stillness of the stone. In a valley known for its fierce, year-round river, there was a monastery carved into the cliffside. The monks who lived there were known for their resilience and focus, for they meditated daily to the roar of the water rushing past. A new initiate, a young man named Kenji, found this practice impossible. He was burdened by a heavy heart, carrying the weight of a great personal loss that had led him to the monastery. When he tried to meditate, his thoughts were not like whispers or ripples. They were a torrent, a heavy, churning current of grief, regret, and confusion. He felt like he was drowning in his own mind. The roar of the river outside only seemed to amplify the roar inside him. He told his teacher, an elder monk named Soko, "I cannot do this. My mind is too heavy. It is a stone that sinks into darkness. I try to find the light, to float, to let go like a petal, but the weight of my sorrow pulls me under. How can I possibly find silence in all this noise?" Soko listened with deep compassion. He did not offer words of comfort or philosophical advice. Instead, he beckoned for Kenji to follow him. They made their way down a steep, winding path to the very edge of the raging river. The spray from the water misted their faces. The noise was immense, a physical force. Kenji flinched as a cold wave splashed him. Soko chuckled softly. "It's colder than your thoughts, but just as still." Soko pointed to a large, dark gray stone submerged in the shallows near the bank. The water, clear and powerful, rushed over it, creating eddies and swirls on its surface. "What does the stone do?" Soko asked, his voice raised to be heard over the river. "It does nothing. Kenji shouted back. It just sits there. The river batters it, but it is too heavy to move. Exactly, Soko nodded. It does nothing. It does not fight the river. It does not try to swim. It does not wish it were floating on the surface. It accepts its own nature, its weight, its density, its place. And in that acceptance, it finds its strength. Soko then waded into the cold water and placed his hand on the submerged stone. He invited Kenji to do the same. As Kenji touched the stone, he was surprised. Despite the chaos of the water rushing over his hand, he could feel the stone's absolute, unwavering stillness. It was cool, solid, and deeply, profoundly peaceful. It was an anchor in the storm. The river is your mind, Soko explained. The current of thoughts, memories, and emotions. You have been trying to fight it, to swim against it. You believe your heaviness, your sorrow, is a curse that pulls you under. But you have misunderstood. That weight is your anchor. It is your connection to the deep, silent earth of your own being. Do not try to be the petal anymore, Kenji. That was a lesson for a different state of mind. For your mind, which feels so heavy, the lesson is of the stone. Stop fighting. Stop trying to float. Let yourself sink. Sink, Kenji asked, confused. Sink into the darkness. No, Soko corrected gently. Sink through the noise. The river is only noisy on the surface, but deep down where the stone rests, there is only the pressure and the silence of the riverbed. Your sorrow is heavy, yes, but beneath that sorrow, at the very core of your being, is a stillness that is even heavier, a silence that is more powerful than any current. He instructed Kenji, from now on, when you meditate, do not watch your thoughts as clouds or petals. Feel them as the river flowing over you, and let your awareness sink beneath them. Find the heaviest, quietest, stillest place within you. Rest there. Be the stone. Remember the silence that was there before the river ever began to flow. Kenji began to practice this way. When the torrent of his grief would arise, he would not resist it. He would imagine it as the cold, rushing water, and he would let his awareness sink down, 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 past the churning emotions, to a place deep in his belly, a place of quiet solidity. He would rest his attention there, on that feeling of heavy, silent presence. He discovered that Soko was right. The silence was there. It had always been there. His grief had not destroyed it. It had only hidden it beneath the turbulence. Silence is the refuge where the mind ceases its endless clinging. Here, you discover that even heaviness can transform into peace. Kenji learned his sorrow was not a weakness, but a gateway. Its very weight, when he finally stopped fighting it, was what forced him to connect with the unshakable ground of his own being. This parable speaks to those moments when our minds feel too heavy for gentle, light practices. Sometimes the weight of our lives, our responsibilities, our burnout, our grief, our financial anxiety is so immense that the idea of being a floating cloud or a drifting petal feels dismissive and impossible. We feel grounded, but in a painful way. We feel stuck. The wisdom of the stone offers a radical alternative. It suggests that this very feeling of weight, of being burdened, can be the doorway to a deeper kind of peace. It's a peace not found by rising above our troubles, but by sinking into the stillness that lies beneath them. This is a deeply somatic practice. It's about shifting your awareness from the narrative chatter in your head to the felt sense of your body. When you feel overwhelmed by thought, where do you feel it physically? Is it a tightness in your chest, a heavy weight in your gut, a tension in your shoulders? Our instinct is to escape these physical sensations. We distract ourselves, we numb ourselves because they are uncomfortable, but the practice of the stone invites you to do the opposite. To move your attention directly into the center of that physical sensation, to inhabit it with your awareness. What you often discover is that at the core of that tension, that heaviness, there is a quiet center, like the eye of a hurricane. By bringing your gentle, non-judgmental awareness to the sensation, you are not indulging it or making it worse. You are meeting it with the calming presence of your consciousness. This process has a profound effect on the nervous system. It signals that you are not in danger, that you can handle this energy. It allows the pent-up emotional charge to slowly, gently discharge. The quiet depth you feel now, this ability to find stillness even amidst inner turmoil, hints at a nurturing and sustaining warmth that can be found in the simplest acts of presence. This feeling is a prelude to the parable of the tea that knew its warmth, a gentle embrace you will come to know later, where awareness becomes a form of self-nourishment. Think of the immense pressure of modern life, the pressure to perform, to be productive, to always be on. This creates a heavy psychic weight. We carry it around all day, and then we wonder why we can't simply set it down and fall asleep at night. We can't set it down because we are identified with it. We believe we are the sum of our obligations and anxieties. The stone meditation is a way of remembering that you are something more ancient and enduring than your current list of worries. You are the silent, solid ground of being itself. Your thoughts and feelings are just the weather passing over the surface of the mountain. You are the mountain. Let us try this practice of sinking now. Find a place in your body where you can feel a sense of weight or groundedness. It might be the feeling of your back against the mattress, the weight of your legs, or you can imagine a point deep in the center of your abdomen, a few inches below your navel. This is a center of gravity in many Eastern traditions. Let your attention gather there. Let it sink into that spot. Now become aware of the river of thoughts and sensations flowing through you. The sounds in the room, the feeling of the air on your skin, the random thoughts drifting through your mind. Don't try to stop them. See them as the water of the river, flowing over and around you. But your attention remains in that deep, quiet, heavy place. You are the stone on the riverbed. The thoughts may be turbulent. I'll never get to sleep. I have so much to do tomorrow. I'm so stressed. Let them be the churning water. They are real, but they are on the surface. You are sinking beneath them. With each breath, let yourself sink a little deeper into that silent, still core. Breathe in, feel the river flow. Breathe out, sink into the stillness. Feel the solidity of your own presence. It is unwavering. It is calm. It is deeply peaceful. Even the most turbulent thoughts find rest when met with calm observation. This stillness is your true nature. It is the silence that was here before your first thought, and it will be here after your last. It is your home. You can rest here. You can let go of the struggle. You don't need to swim. You don't need to fight the current. Just be the stone, heavy, still, silent. The world can rush by. The mind can do its dance. But here at the center, you are at peace. Let this feeling of deep, grounded stillness be your anchor tonight. Let it hold you as you drift into sleep. You are safe. You are held. You are home. As stones endure beneath streams, clouds drift freely above the mind. Notice how the stone rests within you tonight. If it shifted something in your mind, you may quietly share it in the comments. Your silence is held here. Clouds passing through the mind. Do you ever lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, feeling as if your thoughts are running wild like untamed rivers? Tonight, as your body rests, your mind may feel anything but restful, buzzing, worrying, spinning. Notice Notice those thoughts, how they gather and disperse like clouds, reshaping across an endless sky. One moment, your mind is calm, a clear, vast blue. The next, a worry drifts in, small and wispy. And then others join, memories, doubts, judgments. Soon the sky of your mind can feel heavy, overcast, and stormy. Have you ever felt trapped inside your own thoughts, believing that you are the storm, the anxiety, the sadness? Tonight, let us explore a different perspective. Imagine that you are not the clouds, but the sky itself, the vast, unchanging awareness in which all these clouds appear. The clouds are transient. The sky is eternal. Your rest, your peace, begins when you remember this. Picture vast skies where clouds shift endlessly, revealing patches of clear blue between them. This is your mind's true nature. The clouds are not the problem. Our habit of fixating on them, of thinking they define us, is what causes suffering. Tonight, let us rest as the sky, allowing clouds of thought to drift by without resistance, revealing the boundless peace that is our true nature. In a monastery, perched high above the clouds, lived a young monk named Tenzin. Bright and earnest, Tenzin had one persistent problem. He took every thought too seriously. If a negative thought entered his mind, he would cling to it, analyze it, spiral into worry. A fleeting doubt became a storm. A fleeting irritation felt like a flood. His mind was a sky where every cloud seemed permanent, every storm personal. Sleep was an exhausting battle against his own mind. Tenzin's teacher, Master Anzen, whose name meant peaceful mountain, noticed his struggle. Anzen's mind was like the sky on a crisp autumn day. Spacious, brilliant, calm. One afternoon, he found Tenzin staring glumly at thick fog enveloping the valley below. "The fog is heavy today," Anzen said, sitting beside him. "Yes, master," Tenzin sighed. "It is like my mind. I feel trapped, confused, and cannot see a thing." Anzen smiled gently. "Do you think the mountain worries about the fog, Tenzin? Does it fret? Oh no, I have become fog. I will be like this forever." Tenzin shook his head. "No, the mountain knows it is a mountain. The fog is just a visitor." "Exactly," Anzen said. "You are the mountain. Your thoughts, moods, worries, they are just weather. They drift by. They are not you. You have forgotten that you are the vast, silent mountain beneath it all. You treat every thought as a stone tablet engraved with truth," he continued. "But thoughts are clouds formed by conditions, ever changing insubstantial. They seem real, important, but they are passing weather. Sometimes even clouds gossip about each other, drifting in ridiculous shapes. Pause too, subtle smile implied. But how can I stop believing them? Tenzin asked. They feel so solid, so true. You don't argue with them, you observe them. Shift your identity from the cloud to the sky. When a thought arises, simply label it a cloud. Don't engage, don't analyze. Watch it drift by. Tenzin began. A self-critical thought arose. I am not a good monk. He paused, whispered to himself, "Ah, a dark cloud," and watched it dissolve. Anxiety about the future. A fast-moving cloud. He observed, never swept away. Joyful thoughts. A bright, sunlit cloud, appreciated, not clung to. Through this practice, he discovered freedom. He was not the storm, he was the sky. The sky is never harmed by the darkest cloud. Sleep came naturally, whether clouds gathered or dispersed. Your consciousness is the sky, open, clear, spacious. Thoughts, feelings, sensations are clouds, transient, conditioned, insubstantial. Anxiety, insomnia. Depression stem from mistaking the cloud for the sky. When sadness appears, instead of saying, I am sad, notice. A cloud of sadness passes through the sky of my awareness. This small semantic shift creates a profound space. In it lies freedom. In it lies peace. You are not bypassing emotions. You hold them fully in a compassionate, accepting sky. Let the storm thunder. Let the fog descend. You remain untouched. The racing thoughts that keep you awake. What if I can't sleep? What if tomorrow is exhausting? Are storm clouds. Observe, the what if storm cloud. Feel the anxiety, but know it is weather. It will pass. The sky does not prefer sunny days or hate rain. It allows all. This is equanimity. The nervous system quiets. The body realizes no real danger exists. Even in thick fog, a light can guide us. Soon, the story of the lantern in the fog will illuminate paths through obscurity, showing you how to find a single point of focus when all seems lost. This is a powerful CBTI technique. By identifying yourself as the sky, not the clouds, you create distance from your worries. When the thought, I'll never fall asleep, arises, instead of believing it, you can label it. This is the never fall asleep cloud. This labeling depersonalizes the thought and reduces its emotional impact, a key goal in managing sleep anxiety. Let your body be a vast, open landscape under a boundless sky. Watch your thoughts. A thought about today, a small white cloud drifting lazily. Tomorrow's tasks, a purposeful cloud moving steadily. Physical discomfort, a heavy gray cloud. Notice the space around it. An anxious, sudden worry, a dark storm cloud. Observe without fear. You have infinite space for every cloud, every storm, every fog. The mind is vast, no storm permanent, no cloud eternal. You are the stillness allowing all movement, the silence allowing all sound, the spaciousness holding all things. Breathe in, feeling your awareness expand. Breathe out, letting clouds drift by. Nothing to hold on to, nothing to fix. Rest as the sky. Open, boundless, at peace. Merge with the quiet of the room, the stillness of the night. Sleep arrives as the clearing of the sky. Where clouds clear, a lantern awaits to pierce the gentle fog. The lantern in the fog. Have you ever lain awake at 3 a.m., feeling your thoughts twist like invisible currents with no shore in sight? The mind is not a sky of clouds tonight. It is a thick, disorienting fog. There are no clear thoughts, no single worry to fight, only the pervasive weight of confusion and anxiety. Every direction feels the same. Every step seems uncertain. And yet, even in this fog, a single light can guide you. Tonight, like a lighthouse keeper, you will learn to find it. You will learn to hold it steady. Notice the first small light you can hold in your mind right now. This is your lantern. Keep it close. You'll meet another presence, the silent owl, a little later in our journey. Visualize a soft lantern glow, cutting through dense morning fog, revealing only the path beneath your feet. It does not burn the fog away. It does not reveal the entire landscape. It does just one simple, powerful thing. It illuminates the very next step. This is your focused awareness, your small but steady guide through the fog of sleepless thoughts. Tonight, we will practice lighting it together. On a mist-shrouded peninsula, where sea and land seem to merge into one gray expanse, there lived a lighthouse keeper named Isamu. He had tended the great light for 40 years, living a life of quiet routine and solitude. But in his later years, he too became lost in the fog of his own mind. His memory drifted, thoughts wandered without anchor, and nights were long, restless, and full of half-formed regrets. It was as if his mind had become the fog outside, featureless, gray, and overwhelming. He tried to fight it, to think his way to clarity, to shout at the fog and demand order. But this only deepened his despair. Then one stormy night, the great lamp atop the lighthouse failed. A mechanism had broken, and the only way to guide passing ships was with the old emergency lantern, a simple, oil-filled lamp with a single steady flame. The fog was thicker than he had ever known. The wind lashed at him. Rain stung his face. The ship would pass soon, and for the first time, Isamu felt the full weight of helplessness. Yet in his hand, the small lantern burned with quiet confidence. It did not light the whole ocean. It did not dispel the fog. It illuminated just one small circle at his feet, and in that moment, Isamu understood. He only needed to focus on the next step. One step, then the next, then the next. The storm and the fog faded from his mind, replaced by the steady rhythm of mindful action. Hours passed. Step by step, he circled the lighthouse. His focus shrank to that small patch of light. One step, one breath. By dawn, the ship's horn sounded, safely passing the treacherous rocks. The lantern had saved it. And in that calm moment, Isamu realized it had saved him too. Awareness illuminates confusion. Focus on a single point, and restlessness softens. Clarity emerges. This single-pointed focus is a practice CBTI might call attention training. A restless mind often jumps wildly from one worry to another. By intentionally bringing your focus back to a single, neutral anchor like the breath, you are calming the nervous system and breaking the cycle of anxious rumination that fuels insomnia. Your mind on a sleepless night is like that fog. Thoughts swirl, worries feel endless, reasoning seems impossible. Modern psychology calls this cognitive overwhelm. Stress and fatigue switch off the prefrontal cortex, leaving primitive emotional parts in charge. The lantern practice, single-pointed concentration, or samatha, anchors you to the present. It might be the breath, a sound, the warmth of a blanket, the sensation of your hands. Whatever you choose becomes your lantern. Let us light the lantern together. Focus on one spot, tip of the nose, chest, or abdomen. Let your awareness rest there, like Isamu focusing on the patch of stone at his feet. Thoughts will drift. This is normal. Each return to the lantern is a victory, a strengthening of your focus. One breath, then the next. You do not need to see the entire path. One step at a time is enough. Feel the rhythm steady and calm. The flame does not flicker. Let it guide you. Even a small spark of attention transforms uncertainty into gentle guidance. The fog may not disappear, but you are no longer lost. You have your lantern, you have your anchor, and soon you will meet a quiet presence, a silent owl perched in the still night, listening without answering, a teacher without words, which we will explore next. Let the world fade away. Let stories of the mind dissolve into mist. There is only this gentle light, this steady rhythm, this one safe step. Let this story become your dream. Let the flame of your breath be the beacon that guides you safely into the harbor of deep, peaceful sleep. From lantern light, we turn to the quiet owl perched in the still night. The owl that listened without answering. Imagine lying awake at 3 a.m., your mind racing, questions spinning. And then a silent owl appears outside your window, staring at you with eyes like golden moons. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the most profound answers come not from solving, but from simply witnessing? Tonight, we will explore this through the wisdom of an owl and the quiet surrender of a young monk named Dateshai. Have you learned to witness without the need to respond? In our search for peace, we often believe we need answers. We ask our minds, why am I anxious? How can I fix this? What should I do? We approach our inner world like a puzzle to solve. This constant questioning keeps the mind churning, seeking, striving, never allowing it simply to be. But there is a different kind of intelligence, a deep wisdom that does not come from analysis, but from pure observation. It listens without judging, sees without concluding, and witnesses without interfering. Imagine an owl perched silently on a branch, absorbing everything yet saying nothing. Its peace is not in finding answers, but in holding the vast, mysterious quiet of the night. Tonight, we explore this practice, the wisdom of the owl, and how it can bring deep calm to the sleepless mind. In a secluded mountain valley, a small temple presented its students with a peculiar challenge. Each student was required to spend 3 days and nights alone in a tiny forest hut with a single instruction: solve a cone, a paradoxical riddle given by the master. a young monk named Dateshai received his cone. What is the sound of one hand clapping? He entered the hut brimming with intellectual confidence. Clever and well-read, he was determined to solve the riddle and impress his master. For the first day, he thought relentlessly. He meditated, paced, whispered theories. His mind buzzed like a trapped hornet. Every answer felt hollow. By nightfall, frustration weighed heavily. Sleep was impossible. The second day repeated the pattern. Desperation grew. The silence of the forest seemed to mock him. By evening, utterly defeated, Dateshai slumped onto the hut floor and burst into tears. He had nothing left. His intellect was useless, his ambition a joke. He surrendered, completely let go of the need to find an answer. As he sat in darkness, empty of striving, a presence appeared outside the window. A large owl perched on a pine branch, its eyes, luminous golden moons, fixed on him. The owl sat perfectly still, silent, observing, not judging, not offering advice, just witnessing. Dateshai noticed the slight turn of its head, the ruffling feathers, the unblinking stillness. The owl was the night itself, calm, aware, complete. In that shared silence, Dateshai's mind began to settle. He stopped asking questions. He just listened. He heard the chirping of a cricket, the rustle of a mouse, the distant sigh of the wind. He felt the cool air, the rhythm of his own breathing, the beat of his heart. His awareness expanded. He was not just in the hut, but part of the forest. And then the answer bloomed, not as thought, but as felt experience. The sound of one hand clapping was the cricket, the wind, his breath, the silence itself. Intellectual striving could not reveal it. Only non-analytical listening could. Dateshai bowed to the owl, his silent teacher, and for the first time in 3 days, he slept deeply. This story points to a powerful truth. We are conditioned to solve problems. When anxiety, sadness, or insomnia arise, our default is to think, analyze, strategize. But some of life's deepest problems are not solved by thinking. The restless, analytical mind is often the source of insomnia itself. The owl offers a radical alternative: choiceless awareness. Observe your inner and outer world without agenda. Not to fix, not to change, not even to understand intellectually, but simply to witness. Unlike focused concentration, the lantern, narrowing to a single point, the owl opens your focus to everything. Spacious, receptive awareness. Thoughts of worry. Notice them as the owl notices a field mouse. Sadness arises. Feel it as the owl feels night air. Sounds from the street. Just notice them passing through the vast awareness. This practice nurtures trust in the natural intelligence of your being. Your body knows how to breathe. Your heart knows how to beat. Your mind, when left alone, settles naturally. Awareness is not cold observation. It carries warmth, care, holding. This prepares you for the lesson from the tea that knew its warmth, where simple presence becomes self-kindness. Now let's practice together. Settle comfortably. Let your body rest. Open awareness to all sounds. Don't label, don't judge, just listen. Hum of an appliance, distant car, your own breathing. Be like the owl, receptive, non-judgmental. Now expand awareness to sensations in your body. Air on your skin, points of contact with the bed. Warmth, coolness, comfort, discomfort. Don't change anything, simply notice. You are the silent witness of your own body. Finally, open to thoughts and feelings. Don't follow or stop them. Let them rise and pass like fireflies. A memory, a worry, an image, a phrase. They are not you, just mental events passing through your vast awareness. You are the owl, still, silent, awake. Awareness holds everything. Sounds, sensations, thoughts, silence between thoughts. There is nothing to solve, nothing to figure out, nothing to do. Simply rest in open presence. This is deep allowing. You allow the present moment as it is, and allow yourself as you are. In this radical acceptance, the mind's frantic search ends. Striving ceases. Sleep arises, not as something to achieve, but as a gift when seeking stops. In silent vigil, we find the warmth of moments fully known. The tea that knew its warmth. Can you feel it? The gentle warmth of a cup of tea cradled in your hands. Imagine that warmth seeping slowly into your palms, up your arms, grounding you in this very moment. Awareness can feel like this, not distant, not abstract, but real, nourishing, restorative. We've explored awareness before as a watcher, a sky, a lantern, an owl. But now, let's experience its gentlest, most embodied form. fully inhabiting a single sensory moment. Too often, our minds are racing, planning, worrying endlessly elsewhere. We drift through life like ghosts in our own bodies. Yet, with something as simple as a cup of warm tea, we can return. Picture it, a bowl of steaming tea in your hands. Its heat radiates slowly. Your attention shifts naturally from scattered thoughts to this tangible, calming presence. The mind begins to rest. The body remembers it is here. Tonight, let us steep ourselves in the gentle warmth of the present moment. There was once a busy, highly respected scholar named Kenjiro. He served as an advisor to the emperor, his mind a ceaseless library of strategies, histories, and calculations. At night, he could not rest. Arguments, tasks, and what-ifs whirled endlessly, leaving him exhausted, disconnected, and anxious. He lived entirely in his head. One day, on the verge of collapse, Kenjiro visited a renowned Zen master named Chiyo, who lived in a quiet hut by a waterfall. He expected complex koans, long meditations, or profound philosophical debates. Instead, Chiyo listened quietly, then began preparing tea. Slowly, deliberately, she scooped the green tea powder, ladled hot water, and whisked it with a bamboo whisk. Steam hissed softly. The whisk scratched the ceramic in gentle rhythm. Kenjiro's mind wanted to question, to explain, to rush ahead, but he could not. Finally, she presented the bowl. Kenjiro took it automatically, his mind forming the next question. Then Chiyo spoke. Just know the warmth of the tea. Kenjiro froze. The words were simple, too simple, and yet powerful. He felt the warmth seeping into his palms, up his arms, and grounding him. Suddenly, he was not a scholar, not an advisor, not a busy mind. He was simply a being holding warmth. His thoughts receded. The urgency, the noise, the constant chatter, they dissolved in the simplicity of this direct, sensory moment. He lifted the bowl and sipped, not drinking, not tasting, but fully experiencing. The earthy bitterness, the smooth warmth sliding down his throat, the vibrant color of the tea, all of it anchored him to now. The glass wall of his mind dissolved. He was home in his own body, present, calm. When he set down the bowl, profound quiet settled. His mind rested not because it was forced, but because it had something real to rest upon. Gratitude filled his eyes as he bowed to Chio. He had come seeking complexity and received the simplest, yet most profound gift, the present moment itself. Mindfulness is not always silent or abstract. It can be rich, sensory, deeply alive. Anxiety, insomnia, and disembodiment often arise from losing touch with our bodies. The body lives in the only time that is real, now. Bringing full attention to physical sensation anchors the nervous system. Warmth, especially, signals safety. You don't need a formal tea ceremony. Practice can be simple. Warm water on your hands, a ripe piece of fruit, a soft blanket, rain on the roof. The magic is in the quality of attention you bring. As you notice these small, nourishing sensations, imagine stepping toward the next lesson. The parable of returning to the empty room, where the absence of striving reveals presence, peace, and liberation. Now lie down and bring your awareness into your body. Let your lantern of attention glow warmly. Feel the weight of the blankets, their texture, the gentle pressure of soft spots, the light touch elsewhere. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. Is it cool, warm, slightly moving? Just notice, no need to act. Bring awareness to your entire body. Imagine a honey-colored warmth spreading from your chest, softening shoulders, arms, hands, flowing down your torso, hips, legs, all the way to your toes. This is the warmth of your own awareness, loving, kind, healing. You are not trying to get anywhere. Sleep or achievement is unnecessary. You are simply here, resting in this moment. The mind quiets, plans dissolve, thoughts fade. Only the gentle warmth, your soft breath, your body's rhythm remain. Let this be your anchor, your sanctuary, your lullaby. From warmth, we move into the embrace of an empty room where silence reigns. Returning to the empty room. Imagine a room where nothing exists, not a single worry, not a single thought. Can you step inside? Tonight, we will enter a room more sacred than any temple, more alive than any forest, your own mind at rest. We have wandered through bamboo groves and whispering forests. We have watched the moonlight on the water, the clouds drifting in the sky, and felt the stillness of stone beneath our hands. Each story, each practice has been a way of clearing, simplifying, and letting go. We have been sweeping the room of the mind, dusting the furniture, opening windows for fresh air. And now we arrive at the final destination, the simplest place of all, an empty room. We often fear emptiness. We rush to fill every moment with noise, distraction, or endless doing. But in Zen, emptiness, or shunyata, is not nothingness. It is the spacious potential for everything. It is the silence from which all beautiful music is born, the clean canvas upon which life paints its masterpiece. Visualize a quiet, uncluttered room bathed in soft light. Nothing demands attention. All is as it should be. This is the nature of your own mind when it rests. A sanctuary of peace, a space of freedom. Returning to this room is the final step in letting sleep arise naturally, gently, without effort. There was an old Zen master nearing the end of his life. His students gathered, eager for the final distillation of wisdom. One student asked, "Master, after 50 years, what is the single most important teaching?" The master, breathing shallowly, smiled and pointed to the room around them. A simple Japanese room, tatami mats, shoji screens, almost no furniture, only a scroll with an enso, symbolizing emptiness. In a whisper, he spoke, "Return to the empty room." And he was gone. Some students puzzled over his words, thinking of physical rooms or death. But Ryoko, his young attendant, understood. He was speaking of the mind. Throughout life, we fill our mental room with furniture, the heavy armchair of identity, the cluttered desk of ambition, dusty chests of memory, endless bookshelves of belief. Pictures of regret hang on walls. Statues of fear occupy corners. Soon the room is full, no space to move, no space to breathe, no space for light. At night, we stumble over this furniture. Sleep is blocked. Peace is trapped. Return to the empty room is not destructive. It is liberating. You are not the furniture. You are the room itself, spacious, silent awareness in which all experience appears. Returning to emptiness allows the mind to release lingering thoughts. Sleep and stillness arise naturally. This final step embodies a core principle of CBTI for sleep, reducing pre-sleep arousal. By letting go of the mental furniture, the planning, worrying, and ruminating, you are creating the ideal mental condition for sleep to arise. Sleep isn't something you do. It's what happens when you stop doing. You have returned your mind to its baseline state, calm, quiet, and ready for rest. Lie down. Imagine your mental room. See the furniture, thoughts, worries, memories, identity. Now gently open the door. Carry the furniture out one by one. The heavy desk of tomorrow's plans. Set it outside. Bookshelves of beliefs and opinions. Let them go. Pictures of the past. Remove them. Thank them for their stories. Even the biggest piece, your sense of me, release it. The dusty armchair of pride, surprisingly light when you stop clinging. Look around. The room is empty, spacious, quiet, bathed in soft light. Feel the cool floor, the gentle air brushing your skin, the weightlessness of your mind. There is nothing to fix, no one to be. Breathe here, be here, rest here. Let this empty room be your sanctuary. Let silence become your blanket, stillness your pillow. The journey is complete. The work is done. Sleep unfolds naturally in the peaceful emptiness of your true nature. Here in stillness, the journey pauses and sleep becomes your quiet companion. If ever your heart feels heavy or your mind longs for stillness, know that this place will always be here, quietly waiting for you. Zen, Buddhism healing will be here. A space of rest beyond thought. A place to return to again and again. Whenever you need, you're welcome. Welcome to the peace that was always yours. Sleep now. Sleep well.